literally come down and from here, you put your head across there and...
Oh my God!
Barshens is brought to you by our awesome patrons. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Barshens!
Barshen! Hello?
Barshens!
Barshen!
Bash. Hello and welcome to Barshens.
Bonjour. Hello, welcome to the French edition of Barshens. We'll just be doing
Zut alors.
Zut.
Le pamplemousse est dans le sac.
Is it?
Yeah. So watch out.
Your mousse?
I think
it's in the sack.
The grapefruit is in the bag.
Yes. Pamplemousse. That's an amazing word.
That is good, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's grapefruit, isn't it? Shall we just introduce the guest?
Yes, we shall. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Quang.
Yeah.
Voulez-vous de bear?
No, merci.
Voulez-vous de bear? What's that?
Pas maintenant.
Pantalon? It's trousers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pamelon.
Quang, I'll distract him. We'll just run for it.
Parmetalon.
Oui.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Quang. Also known as Quang DX. I'm from Sobi Tech. I'm Open IT. Day job, but that's the boring part. I'm a game developer, dancer, and I make t-shirts now too.
Awesome.
This is all true.
That
I
is
know
such
Quang
a
quite
fusion.
well, so
Yeah.
I will be annoying him with details later.
And your last name, how do you pronounce that? I've seen it so many
We were talking
times.
about this recently, weren't we? Yeah.
I've seen that name from time to time. Is it? Can I say Nguyen?
You can if you want.
Yeah, that's how. That's how.
Please don't. You can.
But that's how I read it, and I've always, whenever I meet someone with that name, I will always ask them.
Sure. So I'm from North Vietnam, Hanoi. I also have lived here most of my life, so I now say it wrong as well.
Okay. How do you say it?
Nguyen.
Okay. Yes, that would make sense.
So the G after the N makes the N heavy. So my
You
name
just have to say it more aggressive.
ends. My name ends in NG. My first name Quang. It's NG. So you take that sound.
Yeah.
Quang. And
Quang.
you start Nguyen with that.
Ewan.
Quang Nguyen.
I'm going to mess this up.
The problem is now there's also accents over the E
Oh right.
that changes the sounding of it.
So Quang.
Quang is just
we'll
fine.
stick with Quang.
Yeah, I
That bit,
wasn't
I
sure.
could do that bit.
I like Nguyen. I like that.
The problem is like 1/3 of the Vietnamese population is called Nguyen.
Really?
Yeah, 1/3. It's more common than Smith, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of us out there.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen it loads. I've just it's got that G's doing something. It's thrown my mind somewhere.
Isn't the currency in Shadowrun called New Yen? As in New Yen. The Japanese currency,
Yeah.
the new version. Which is
Okay.
similar phonetically.
It's
Don't worry,
it's an
just guessing.
easy way of saying it. Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay.
So from the Independent, terrifying news, Jersey is being terrorised by 100-strong gangs of feral chickens, waking up locals and chasing joggers.
Clucking hell.
I heard about this.
Really?
I've actually read this
a
article.
thing? My
Yeah,
God.
yeah. It went on Facebook. It went viral.
I missed it. It's because I don't use Facebook.
No, you haven't. Because every article like that just ends up in our tweet.
So, yeah, that's absolutely true. Residents have been making complaints about the birds, which have also become a traffic hazard.
Oh, amazing.
So just hordes of angry chickens have descended on... So who do we know in Jersey? Elliot, mutual
Elliot,
acquaintance.
Yeah.
Do you think he's currently in his house with just hundreds of chickens? He's protecting his consoles and megaducks from...
So what, the jerkins have come out of nowhere?
The Jerkins?
Yeah, the
Jerkin. It's like a mixture of jerk chicken and a chicken. It's a jerk.
All these Steve Martins coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're all like Rasta chickens, really. Just like, yeah.
My God. Residents have been making complaints about the birds, which have also become a traffic hazard. You literally just said that. 2 small culls have been carried out. Oh, imagine go and kill the chickens.
KFC.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders. Shh, I'm ready.
Well, they run out of chicken the other year, didn't they? So that would help them.
There we are. This is their secondary breeding program. Yeah.
So where did they come from? I missed that bit. They just literally just turned up.
Well, it says it is believed the chickens were once pets, which were abandoned before rapidly breeding. They now roam the British island in 100-strong groups. Are they different factions? Are they like different ones?
Hell's Angels of chickens. It's
Yeah.
like little posses.
It's like the
They're in-
Warriors or something. It's like, we control this area. You've got...
That's amazing.
Bloody
So it's in
hell.
Jersey, yeah?
Yeah, apparently so. Environment Minister John Young said, He's very scared. We are now dealing with very large numbers. The culls that happened were quite modest. A modest cull. Did you kill some chickens? Well, I did, but I don't really like to say.
Yeah. Oh, you are awful.
Chewing on some wings.
Yeah.
We're in a situation where we've got animal lovers on the one hand and where we have got those who are experiencing a nuisance on the other. I can't pretend to sit here and say I've got an answer to that. Probably it's not a question.
Yeah, that's right. It's just a statement.
A total of 35 chickens were killed in the first 2 culls carried out by a private pest controller.
If there are hundreds, that's only like a third.
Yeah, that's a third of one of the hundreds.
Not many.
And which faction did they go for?
Yeah.
Mr. Young said his department has received 40 complaints about the birds so far this year. But the local authorities in the island say they are fighting a tough battle and have urged people not to feed the chickens as it encourages them to breed.
I'm waiting for a foul play pun or something.
There's going to be something near the end, isn't there? Yeah. William Peggy, Director of Environment for the state, said efforts to come up with a plan to tackle the issue had been hampered by the loss of the state's vet. They only had one vet?
Well, budget restraints.
Not a big island.
Yeah. But with an interim replacement now appointed, discussions could take place to find a practical solution.
Yeah, literally, KFC turns up the Colonel.
Yeah.
With a huge bucket, just hoovers them all up.
Scoops them up.
Yeah.
Straight into an industrial fryer.
Yeah.
He added that they did not know where and when people were abandoning chickens, making it hard to crack down on it.
Do you think, like, people buy and saw a group of chickens, like, I just put my chickens with them and added more chickens.
How are we going to get rid of these chickens?
Chickens like
I'll
chickens.
Just add them to the pile and nobody will notice. Yeah.
There's going to be a new state just called chicken. It would just be full of, it'd be amazing.
My God.
Yeah.
Under nuisance legislation, landowners are able to dispatch chickens if they are causing a nuisance, he said. And action could be taken if a feral chicken was being fed in a way that causes a nuisance. So Jersey is apparently infested by killer chickens.
I've never been to Jersey. It's like a tax haven, isn't it?
It is, of sorts, yeah.
For chickens. That's why the chickens are there. Hey, no tax. This is brilliant. No chicken tax.
But it's changed, you say?
Yeah. Do you remember was it play.com?
Oh, yes.
And you used to buy games from them like ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, they used to come from Jersey.
Because there was no tax.
Yeah.
And at some point they changed it so online companies in Jersey had to pay tax now. And now play.com is rubbish.
So they would get like literally slash the discount because of the...
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Back
cheap.
in the day,
Yeah.
you'd get it like on the day of release for like 2/3 of the price here, or even less sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's happening to game and all that because they seem to be shutting down all the time. I didn't they go bust?
They did a couple of times.
They've just gone to Jersey.
Yeah.
Opening up KFC restaurant. So where were you born then?
So I was actually born in Hanoi, Vietnam.
Wow.
That was 40 years ago now? 41 years ago coming up to?
Are you 41?
I'll be 41 in 2 months.
Jesus, you don't look 41. You look like
this, yeah.
19?
19.
You don't look 41.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
No, I would have said...
I'm not 41, I'm 40.
Oh, okay. Slow down. Yeah. Wow, you do not look 41. 40. Not an age over 40.
40, yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was 20.
Nice.
You have a very youthful look.
Did you see all the things I've done with my life?
Yes. I was like, yeah. In 1985.
3 years before I was born. I was the...
Yeah. No, that's... yeah, you must have a very youthful diet. You know?
It's a mixture of many things. I'm guessing my genes play a big part in it.
Right.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I stay relatively healthy.
You ate quite a lot of chicken wings?
I eat a lot of wings.
Live in Jersey?
Jersey, send me over there. We'll do a modest
I'm
call.
going to sort this.
Modest call. It'll be fun.
Calls out 2 swords.
Wow. So you were born there and then...
Yeah. So born over there. We left Vietnam as refugees, actually. There was a huge issue with the Chinese and Vietnamese not getting along very well. My mum is half Chinese. So my mom was like, look, I'm taking the kids and we're leaving. My dad's like, I don't really want to leave. This is where my home is.
Wow.
So they had a bit back and forth there. And then my dad's like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Let's go because it's not going to be great for you.
So did you know where you were going?
So the idea was to go over to Hong Kong, which at the time was not still under British rule.
Okay.
So there was a huge migration of Vietnamese people, known as the Vietnamese boat people in 79, 1980, that sort of time.
When you weren't born, obviously.
Way before,
Yeah.
So yeah, we came over as refugees. We got on a boat. My mum and dad got some money together. paid the boatmen. It's like these fishing boats, and a lot of them crashed and drowned, and thousands of people died trying to escape Vietnam.
Yeah, and there's people being paid to ship people back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But these fishing boats weren't made to go across the sea. They're made to go fishing and come back. So a lot of them didn't make it. I know our boat started sinking. I fell in the water. My dad jumped in and saved me.
Wow.
So my dad tells me he might be lying to me.
Yeah, the armbands on. You were fine.
So what you're saying is your dad threw you in the water. So he was such a strong swimmer at an early age.
So yeah, as I'm told, that's what happened. Then we reached Hong Kong. We were in the refugee camps for a while, wait for countries to take refugees. Everyone wanted to go to America because at that time, you had America as the big promised land and stuff like that. But I was really sick as a kid, probably because I fell in the water. I probably didn't help. And my dad's like, whatever country will take us first, we'll go there. And it was actually Scotland. And we moved to Glasgow in 1979-ish.
That's one heck of a temperature change.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the difference, to be honest.
Oh,
of course,
yeah, right. Yeah. So what was that the ocean, like Indian Ocean or something? I'm trying to work out.
So you're looking at Vietnam, which is the south part of, just the south of China, and you need to go a little bit further north to reach Hong Kong.
So it's pretty rough sea then, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you want to be doing in a fishing boat, is it? My God.
No. Again,
shark-infested waters probably and all that sort of stuff around there, isn't it?
Again, I don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
You're asking, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah. I was 40 then. Wow. So that's quite a long flight over to Scotland then from Hong Kong, was it?
Yeah, so did the flight from there, and we landed in Hong Kong with basically nothing. My mum and dad didn't speak the language. So I believe Children in Need were a big charity then, helping us integrate into the community.
Oh, wow.
My mum and dad went to college, learned English. My dad went to work. He tells the story when he had to walk, I think, 5 miles both ways every day to go to work.
He might have influenced the Proclaimers song. It all makes sense now. I would walk 5 miles rather than 500.
They're from Edinburgh.
Oh, right.
Aren't they? They must
never
be.
been to Scotland.
They made a song called Sunshine on Leith. So, yeah. You've never been to Scotland?
No, I want to. Yeah,
it's a beautiful place.
I want to go to the Fringe now. You don't do the Fringe, do you?
I don't do the Fringe.
Maybe we just do the Fringe show.
We'll give him an idea during the show. It'll be fun.
Yeah. No, I've never been to Scotland. So did you grow up on Scottish food then? Like, did you have haggis and stuff like that?
So theoretically, yes. I don't know. Again, we left Scotland when I was about 5.
Oh, right. Okay.
So again, the memories of Scotland are very vague. I kind of remember the flat we lived in, and I can't remember the area. I remember bits of school, but apart from that, not much memory of Scotland.
And then you moved down to England then?
Yeah. So we moved down towards London. My dad found work in London. We lived in Kent for a little bit as we were waiting for a place to live in London, and we moved into Hackney, which was a very different Hackney from what Hackney is now.
And you're still in London to this day, of course.
So how do you know Stuart then? Because you guys are like, I've seen...
Yeah. It's just everywhere I go, there is Quang. It's amazing. I wake up in the morning, he's just suspended over the bed like that. No, it's retro events mostly.
Okay. So is that... Yeah,
so a big part of what I do is retro gaming. I've spent the last 2-3 years being as visible as I can be. So going to all the events, helping out people in retro, being part of Digitizer, appearing in as many YouTube videos as I can.
So do you have your own channel then? Or?
Actually, I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not what I do.
Okay.
So I think my YouTube's got like maybe 300 subs on it, and it's like... I just throw videos up there every now and then.
Yeah.
So I don't use YouTube as a thing, as it were.
Okay.
But I just appear on lots of other people's YouTubes.
So you just expanding your people, your network and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that,
So Quang owns what we suspect is probably the most comprehensive boxed collection of games consoles in the UK.
Wow. Is there like not an awards for that? It strikes me as this sort of thing.
Giant Oscar. Yeah.
It just strikes me as this sort of thing where there would be an awards for that for some reason, where someone's like, this guy has got in like a Guinness World Records thing or something.
Your award is YouTubers phoning you up every 5 minutes and going, Quang, can I borrow your Genlock NES, please?
So you can hire it out to people then.
Yeah. So I haven't been hiring. I've been loaning things out.
Okay.
I probably should charge people for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
New business model.
Yeah, but through the goodwill of the community, I love the retro community. It's such a wonderful group of people. I just hand out all the stuff I can get. We do lots of events where, like the Play Expo events, where I take some of the various stuff and let people play on them, which is nerve-wracking as hell.
Yeah,
But people enjoy it.
yeah, absolutely.
I have seen this collection in the flesh in Quang's house, and my God, I didn't even know they did really useful boxes that big. And he's got like unfathomable.
And they're still in the original boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so part of the collection is they have to be in their boxes, which is something I wish I'd never ever started, because finding stuff in the boxes is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But for me, the box designs are a huge part of the nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were a kid, you walked into the stores, you saw the machines as well, but you saw the boxes on the shelves. And it's a shame that some people throw the boxes away because someone took time and effort to design those.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're a great piece of nostalgia.
Do you have a item that is like always regularly requested by the community? As you put, like someone like Stuart, does he always reach out or do you get many people always asking for this, like, I don't know, amber nectar of a particular item that's like,
there's a few holy grails out there. The one that's probably come up most at the moment is the Dreamcast TV.
okay.
So they're
I remember the Dreamcast, but there was a TV.
yeah, so it's a all-in-one TV system with the Dreamcast built into it,
Wow.
and it's quite rare.
It looks like a madman's space helmet.
Okay,
It's an
yeah, because it would have been back in the
astonishing
days when a TV had a back end on it.
It's a
sort of.
CRT, yeah.
My favourite thing is, right, television, Dreamcast built into, all integral. Picture's not that good.
Yeah, it's quite average.
Yeah, it really amazed me, that, because you'd think they'd put a good lead internally.
Yeah.
You know?
So as I understand it, the guys at the Computer Museum in Cambridge, they've currently got. Am I allowed to say this? I guess I can. They're fixing Jonathan Ross's. He has one as well, and they're fixing his, and they took it all apart to fix it, and they found that inside it's just a normal Dreamcast plugged in.
Wow.
So it's a board.
Oh my God,
it's like
just
a
with
shell around it.
composite cable or
Yeah.
something. Whoa.
So it's not even fancy RGB. It's
Oh, so they might have just used a sort of low-grade quality television or something if the picture's not as good. Is that what you're saying? Or?
I think it's just. I imagine it was just an off-the-shelf telly they put in a special case. Isn't
yeah,
it?
pretty much. It's a standard TV. They obviously molded a case for it, but the connection between the Dreamcast and the TV is pretty standard.
Right.
So it's not a great picture. To be honest.
Right. Wow.
What is the hardest console to find that you currently have in your collection? Which one did you have to work the hardest to get? So if all of your collection was being beamed up by aliens and destroyed, and they said, all right, you can keep one thing, what would it be?
I'll fight them for it.
Is the correct answer?
It's probably gonna be the PC Engine LT.
Oh, I love those.
You have no
I have no
idea.
idea.
Oh, man.
So
yeah.
in Japan, they have the PC Engine, which is a console roughly the time of the Sega Master System and the NES.
Okay.
We never got it over here officially. There are ways
So the
to-
console is called the PC Engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a variant of it called the LT, which is basically the PC Engine laptop. It has a built-in screen that is like a big, Game Boy SPs?
Yes.
The affordable ones?
Yeah.
It looks like a giant version of that. And you open it up and it plays.
Oh, you
PC
still
games.
open it up even though it's bigger?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a
Have you
beautiful
got one
machine.
of those?
No, I don't know. I've got the TurboGrafx, the little handheld
version,
PC.
yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what the PC Engine name is for it.
It's a GT.
GT, that's it, yeah. Which is like a
Right.
Game Boy version, but no, those LTs are really rare.
Wow. Do you get many requests to borrow those or?
So I don't lend out the handhelds because they're a bit stealable.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Damn,
Fits
I'm
into a
thwarted
pocket.
again.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, empty my pockets on the way out. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to have a metal detector on my way in my house.
I
don't.
Just get one of them on a handheld. Wow.
So how did you get into it? How did you get
Um,
into the console collecting?
So how did I get into console collecting? It's that thing where when you were a kid, you had all these game consoles. So I think I started with Spectrum, went to an Atari ST, got a Game Boy, a Super Nintendo, and got a few games in after that. And then my dad sold everything because we're kids and we don't need them anymore. And we grow up and you're like, yeah, you don't need them anymore. But then nostalgia kicks in and you want to buy all the stuff you didn't have as kids. So I bought a few things that we had and it just got more and more and more. And then people started handing me stuff like, hey, you like this sort of stuff. Have this.
Yeah.
And it grew and grew and grew. And then I kept all the boxes and people were quite impressed that I had the boxes for everything as well. And then it became collecting.
Wow.
And then, it just kind of grows from that.
So you say you had a Spectrum, so I'm presuming that's where you got into programming?
Yes.
As many of us in this country did, because they were everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah, so the microcomputers were definitely a big kickstart for the games industry in the UK, and that's where I started for sure.
Okay. There's a lot of run commands, isn't it? It's like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's,
Yep. 10 print,
Yeah.
This is my game.
I think
20, go to 10.
Okay, yeah, I went to a friend's house and I remember typing it all in, because I had an Amiga and that I used to like just whap the floppy disk in and then just turn it on, whereas this other guy was like, okay, and it'd take 5 minutes to load up as well, all the screens and stuff.
The joys. Yeah, my God.
And again, that sound of the loading sounds, it's still really nostalgic.
And
And you the sound of the screenshot loading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the loading screen, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have one that's worth like the most money, would you say? Is there one that you'd go, right, if I was to sell that, it would get, that it's worth a lot of money?
Again, probably the Dreamcast TV.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Really?
That's
Is that
crazy expensive.
Whoa! I didn't
Especially in
realise
its
that.
box as well.
I should have worked harder to have stolen that.
Yeah. It just sticks it on your arm.
Yeah.
Well, a space, if it's a space helmet, just like, oh, Space Stuart.
It's like, did you come in on a motorbike?
Yes, I did now.
Delivering pizzas, and I went, yeah, it's just my side job.
I think the last one that sold on eBay was about $4,000.
Wow. Are you ever tempted to sell?
Bloody hell, man! That's that's like triple
That is
what I thought
that
it
is
would
a lot.
be. Yeah.
It's not what I paid for it, but yeah.
I paid $9,000.
So you ever sort of buy stuff and sell it on then as a
Yeah, for a while I had doubles of things. So I had 2 Vectrexes. Is that we Vectri?
I was wondering. I was about to say that myself. Yeah. Vectru.
So I did 2 of those. I had 2. Actually, I had one about 3 Commodore 64 GSs,
Whoa!
which is the
these things are
console
rare.
versions of a Commodore
Okay.
64. And yes, and I decided it's kind of unfair to me to hoard all these things. So all my doubles, I sold off all my doubles. And then you get into this other thing where you want the nicest version of everything. So if your box is a bit tatty or the console is a bit tatty, you want to upgrade it.
Yeah.
And then you sell your old one and you get a new one, and it just cycles through.
Is it like a collection so you don't play on them, or is there like you always want to play on one, or is it more of like a showcase where it's like almost like your own museum?
It's I guess at the moment it's kind of more a museum piece because I don't have the time to play on them. I like one day I'm waiting for the day for me to retire and sit and play everything. But taking it to the shows and stuff, let other people play them. That's a really rewarding thing to do because then the games they're made to be played. People get upset when you open sealed things, but they're games. They're made to be played.
Yeah,
I bought a console off eBay for a crazy amount of money. It's called a ColecoVision Telstar Arcade.
Is that the weird one with like this steering wheel and it's all triangular?
Yeah,
and
it's a weird triangle console. And I've been looking for one for ages in its box. And they never turned up even outside of the box. And when finally turned up, it happened to be sealed.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
that's a hard one.
I got into a bidding war with someone who collects sealed stuff. I didn't need it to be sealed. I just wanted it.
Yeah.
I got into bidding war and I managed to win that. And then it's a 40-year-old console.
God.
And I opened it on stream. And some people were upset about that.
What is there for? You don't know what's in the box till you've opened anyway. It could be full of wasps.
What did you play on when you went round there? Were you just in?
We played on the Dreamcast TV. We played Choo Choo Rocket, and we had to go on. Was it the new one?
Yeah, Big Ass
we
new
did.
the Tempest 3000.
So the new one is a really weird thing. It's like a technology they developed for playing games that they built into DVD players.
Oh wow! Not like the like the menu sort of interactive DVDs.
Oh no, this was actual proper games.
Yeah.
But it did not catch on at all, and anything that plays this stuff is like super rare.
Was that like the video CDs? Like with Sega did those? Do you remember those? Where it was like a game that was like it was on a CD. But
Oh, yeah, I think of things like Night Trap and
that's right.
Yeah, the Mega CD
Yes,
stuff.
Mega CD,
That's right.
So back then you had a lot of FMV games, and because look, we can store all this space. What should we do with it? We'll store really bad acting.
Yeah, and
Right.
in really dodgy colours and really low resolution, and have almost no gameplay.
Yeah.
Enjoy Sewer Shark, everyone. You know.
So have you always been into gaming then? Or I mean, so obviously you went to school and college. Was that obviously down in England?
Yeah,
Or-
exactly. So I've always been into gaming. Again, from getting the Spectrum, I started programming on that thing and getting typing in listings for magazines and stuff, and then slowly understand what those listings meant, and then making my own stuff up. And gaming has always been a big part of my life.
Right.
I wanted to be a game developer when I was a kid.
Oh right.
That was the dream job.
So did you learn that at college or anything like that?
I'm very much self-taught. The stuff they teach you in school for computers is not.
No, I mean
Here's a
when
spreadsheet.
we didn't even have spreadsheets in ours. They had like a couple of the old Amstrad PCW word processors, And
Right.
that was pretty much it. We had almost no computers in our schools. Yeah, because they
There's more
were
data input. Was that what you learned, or something like that?
Yeah, not even that, barely. Yeah.
Really?
Did you have a
so
computer?
little computers.
Yeah,
at
we
school?
did. Yeah, I can't remember what they were. It might have been. No, it wasn't time. It was because that's what I had at home in time computers for a little while. Yeah.
It might have been an RM Nimbus.
Something like that. Yeah, and just like real old school database stuff that we used to do.
Yeah,
But I
we
mean,
had a couple of BBC micros
Yep.
and all that kind of. There was a Spectrum around. They had an Atari Falcon in the music room. They never used.
Really?
Should have nicked that.
yeah. And now it's all iPads and digital like whiteboards.
Can you just
Yeah.
stick it in your head?
Yes, yeah. Just how I steal everything going forward.
So, what did you learn at college? Did you go to college or?
Oh, yeah, so college, as in college or A-level college? Or?
Yeah, A levels.
Yeah, I did A-levels. I did maths, computer, and
Okay.
physics. I pretty much flunked those.
So you enjoyed the computer inside, but the maths was
Computer was boring.
okay.
It was all
too. Yeah.
again. So yeah, exactly. That was it. It was I did just enough to pass. I went to university, did maths and computing at university. I wanted to do computing and maths, but not enough people chose that elective to do that. So they went, you can have mathematics and computing. That's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, the computing
Oh.
maths. Okay.
But yeah, the
It's
one that
completely
comes
different.
first tends to really
So-
dominate the curriculum.
Yeah, so
doesn't
it's
it?
2/3 maths, 1/3 computing. Very different from
So
the
algebra
other way.
and all
Yeah.
stuff.
And degree level math is insanely difficult.
Okay.
Oh man, I can do the A level, so yeah.
Where was that at uni?
Brunel,
Brunel.
West London.
Okay. Yeah.
University of West London.
Yeah.
That was insane, and I hated it with a passion.
Right.
But I carried on programming in my spare time, and that's what kept me going, I guess.
So after leaving there, did you go on to any sort of jobs within that industry, or did you have any other sort of jobs in the meantime?
So when at university, I literally did temp jobs, just
Okay.
pay the bills and stuff. So I was going to lectures during the day and then working in the evening, and then programming whenever I could find some time. I made Game Boy games in my spare time.
Really?
And
Wow.
Bunch of-
That seems like, I mean, obviously now there's a lot of open source stuff that you can, like Google and that open stuff up so you can like do loads of or like the Mario Builder, right? It's so
Yeah.
easy to do that. But like back then, like I could know how you'd even make a Game Boy game.
so they had just released a development kit, again, kind of open source.
Right.
So that had just been released, and I was using that. And you could get a flash cart to put your game on to play on the hardware. And I made a bunch of games for that, put them online. Guys saw them and offered me a job. So I went, you know what? This sounds great. I'm going to leave university
Oh, wow.
and then take this job. So,
Yeah. So you literally went straight into that sort of.
yeah. So I did Game Boy programming for about a year.
Wow. How many games could you make in a year? I mean that sort of. But do you know any games that you made that you were part of that became established, or
So
did you build Tetris?
no,
No, damn.
that's another guy.
yeah. He's
Not
probably
me.
doing okay for himself at Tetris, I imagine.
Long story that he didn't get paid for it for ages.
Really?
Because it's a Russian thing, and the Russian government took all the money.
Oh,
So it's only, I think, in the last few years, now he's now part of the Tetris company, and they now make money from it.
okay.
But it took a long time for them to get paid.
Yeah. So were you part of any games like that?
Yeah, so I worked on, we were originally hired to make the conversion of a game called Revolt. It was a game about little racing RC cars.
Okay.
It was on various other systems, and we want a Game Boy version, so let's do that. So I got hired to do that. Unfortunately, it got cancelled. I think we were given 6 months to make it, and I think in the 5.5 month or so, it got cancelled.
Oh,
no way.
for crying out loud.
Do you still get paid for that in any way? Or?
We get paid monthly. So
Okay.
you hit milestones, and you get paid in advance
Yeah.
for that month.
But then they're just like,
And then, you know what? They decided it wasn't going where they wanted it, or it wouldn't make the money. For whatever reason, they pulled the plug.
Oh, did the code survive?
So the code survived. We retooled the whole game, and we made ATV racing, little ATV
yes,
racing bikes. And Daytail Electronics bought that eventually. I didn't know about this until a few years ago, actually. I thought the game had disappeared. And then someone showed me this game. I'm like, that's my game.
really?
That's all my source code. And that's my game. They had taken... So Daytail Electronics, they used to make the cheat cart, the action replay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
They found a way to make their own carts and bypass the copy protection on Nintendo, because every Game Boy cartridge has to have Nintendo logo on it,
All right.
which means it has to be licensed by Nintendo, which means you have to pay them a bunch of money to make it happen. But Daytail managed to circumnavigate that and make their own cartridges and say, you know what, we'll make our own stuff and we'll sell it for cheaper.
Wow.
So they licensed a bunch of cheap games. One of them was ours, and
So this would be the sort of Game Boy Color era?
Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
exactly that, yeah. By the time I got the job, it was 2000, so the Game Boy Color was in full force by then.
Yeah.
And then we also worked on Lego Stunt Rally. Which is,
I've heard of that.
a racing game, big Lego, you build tracks and stuff. We also were working on conversions of Mary King's Riding Star. So do you know who Mary King is?
Oh, it's a famous equestrian lady, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was Mary Kate and Ashley, these little twins or whatever they were. Didn't they have a video
There is
game?
some crossover.
Yeah.
I believe,
They
but
do
yeah.
have a video game, which was originally meant to be a South Park game.
Oh, right.
No.
Yeah. It was originally pitched as a South Park game, and it got cancelled. It didn't get picked up, and they retooled the graphics and it became Mary Kate and Ashley.
I think it'd be really
hell.
good for a pub quiz. Like if we
Just-
yeah.
Well, Quang has come to our quizzes that we do in Norwich.
Yes, I've seen that. Actually, I think that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But I think
It always does very well.
just in life,
Yeah.
I think would
Yeah.
just to have Quang just to appear would help. Like,
It's just random information. Whether it's any important information, I don't know.
do you have a favourite game?
The other game, actually, it's Tetris.
Oh, really?
And for me, Tetris is the most purest game ever made. It doesn't rely on fancy graphics, and it's a great metaphor for life. You get these falling blocks, and you keep trying to put things in order, and eventually you die.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can't
should
argue
put
with
that on
that.
a t-shirt.
Yes,
Actually. That'd be
yeah.
amazing. Eventually you die just with Tetris
Yeah.
screen.
Like, there's no way to win.
Profound.
There's no
Yeah.
way to win Tetris.
Well, if you go far enough, the rocket launches and the little guys play the music on
Really?
the Game
I was
Boy
going to say,
version.
do you complete Tetris? No. You don't, it just goes on.
Well, it depends which mode you're playing, but proper Tetris goes on forever. 'Cause-
Yeah, it goes on
until
until
it's
you
too
die.
fast to deal with.
Wow. I found out the other day at Snake 2, you complete that. You literally just fill the screen up. You know the game Snake 2 on the
Yeah,
phone?
sure.
Yeah. There's a video I watched online where the
filled
guy
the
was
whole
just
thing?
filled it up and then it went, and that's
Was
it.
there congratulations at the end
I
of
think
it?
it just literally popped up and then it's like, start again. He's like, "Ah." So you can't like screenshot
There
or
is no
anything like
end.
that. But like, this guy was like going, the snake gets faster and obviously it's huge, but then there's a certain route he was doing. And it was just a high sped up video and it was just like, I actually just wanted to know, do you actually complete Snake? And there it was. It was just literally,
blimey.
in the end, it was almost like a filled screen, but you had to just keep collecting the food and all that stuff. So-
Speaking of games, Quang was a semi-pro Street Fighter 2 player.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you say semi-pro, it's kind of like you want to win some competitions, you get paid money.
Yeah?
You get paid money.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
professional.
That's
Yeah.
professional, isn't it? Semi-pro.
Yeah.
So, I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 as a kid.
Because there's like a billion versions of Street Fighter
Yeah.
2, wasn't there? Or like,
So Street Fighter 2 obviously goes from Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
yeah.
And I played throughout all those versions.
Wow. Favorite version?
Super Turbo, which is the last one.
Okay.
Because it has the most refinements, and they've balanced it as much as they can. It's still broken, to be honest, in some ways, but it's the best version.
I used to like just being Chun-Li and going, just kicking my leg, and that was it. Do you
Lightning
have-
kick.
Yeah, let's just keep pressing the button. And we have a favourite character?
So my main character is Zangief.
Okay.
It's a very
big boy, yeah.
slow,
Yeah.
patient character. Although I'm not patient when I play with him, so it throws people off a lot because I'm quite aggressive as I play. But also means I will lose matches because of that.
So I have played Quang on the arcade machine in my office. I beat him in the first match
Really?
because he was basically learning how I played. And then from then on, just no.
I'm
You
the reigning,
do not get near Quang once he's
I'm
learned.
the reigning Barshens Street Fighter champion. I'm just
You
putting
are,
out
that is
there.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. I fluked it. It was just literally button hammering.
So what you find out is when you tell people you play Street Fighter, they go, "Oh, I'm really good at that. I beat all my friends." I'm like, "Great," and then you actually play them and they're terrible because they play just their friends,
Okay.
and you're only as good as the people you play.
Yeah, okay. And there's probably tactics with it and stuff then? Or?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Street Fighter is not
yeah.
button mashing. Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of tactics in Street Fighter. Yeah,
Wow.
it's I compare it to high speed chess.
Yes.
You need to control space, and the second you do in chess, you control space on the board, and you have to make decisions very, very quickly. So
Can you coach people?
you can coach people to a certain extent. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I remember we did Mario Kart on that episode as well. We were playing with that NES. I had some motion sickness back in the day with that. It was just so like,
Oh, Mo 7. Yeah, on an
it
old
was just-
CRT.
I don't know if it's the old school TVs or something. It was just, I
Yeah.
felt like, after the episode, it's just like done.
Have you done anything VR yet?
No, I had a chance to
you?
with Tom Scott in here a few months ago to come in and do something with him. No, I'd like to.
It's
I
possible.
have a portable VR. I've got the Oculus Quest. I could bring that
Nice.
in and we can make Barry motion sick.
That would be amazing.
I'm worrying.
yeah.
You might be very highly susceptible
Yeah.
to motion sickness. And
Yeah,
things.
I did like, yeah.
Some people are.
If we do it in this room, always makes you ill anyway.
I did, yeah.
So,
So I'll get the YouTube flu and I'll
Yeah.
be thrown up. Brilliant.
Amazing, yeah.
It's like digitize the episode.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'd love to give that
I'll
a
bring
go.
that along next time.
We just do a
There we go, yeah.
podcast in VR. Is that even a thing?
I don't know how the Quest has better recording facilities, I believe.
But we
I'll
could
look
just do a
into it, I'll look
podcast but
into it.
simulate that we're on a bridge or something.
I don't think I could write that. By which I mean, no, I couldn't write that.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get more into that VR thing. But,
You just have to play one of the games on it where you beat up Darth Vader or whatever.
yeah, that would be good. If I
And
knew
then
who he
throw
was.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then throw up on Darth Vader just to go and change.
Did you used to be a
You win.
breakdancer then?
So yeah, one of the things I did was a breakdancer. After being a Game Boy programmer for
natural
a
progression.
year,
Yeah.
I actually burned out. It went horribly wrong.
Oh,
And,
really?
I was way too young. No one was coaching me through being a programmer, and the pressure it is to be a programmer. Usually takes 6 to 8 months to make a Game Boy game. Usually 2 coders.
Mm.
I was making 4 games by myself under 6 months, with by myself coaching. And obviously the guy who hired us wanted to cut corners as much as he could.
Yeah.
So here, some young lad off university, pay him some money and then make some games. But
Wow.
it didn't work very well. So I burned out, and I didn't want to touch computers for I think 7 or years.
Years, right.
Yeah,
Wow.
7 years or so. So in that meantime, I became a breakdancer. When I was younger, I wanted to be a stuntman.
Cool.
I watched Jack Chan movies, and I thought, he's cool. I want to be Jackie Chan.
Did you even investigate getting into that? Did you just go to any? Did you jump off any things? Or
Crunch.
yeah,
Oh.
juggling knives.
I did go to the careers officer and go, hey, Emily, actually, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm like, stuntman?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we don't have a career path for that.
Yeah. Like, how do you get into being a stuntman? Yeah.
I said I wanted to be a YouTuber. It's like they haven't even invented the internet yet, you stupid bastards. Yeah.
AOL Messenger. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
just
yeah.
wait. Just come in.
But yeah, back then there were no official bodies for being a stuntman. You just be a stuntman. Now it's an official thing. You can get qualifications as being a stunt person. And yeah, as a kid, I would throw myself off things all the time.
Wow.
I would climb up buildings, climb up trees. I never broke a bone, which is
Cool.
quite impressive.
That's good. Yeah. Until now.
Until now.
Which, yeah, for the amount of things I've done, I'm surprised I've never broken it. I knocked myself out a couple of times.
Ooh,
I
that's not
remember
good.
jumping off. We used to have these flat garages about 1 floor up.
Right.
I jumped off the roof of that, and then when I landed, my knee came up and hit me in the face, and then knocked me out.
Wow.
I
I
remember
wish my knee
being.
could hit my face. It's quite a long way.
Your wish will be granted.
yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Wimpy
It's a
comes in.
It's a different knee. Yeah, Mr. Wimpy's knee. Yeah.
I remember being on a skateboard, coming down quite a steep hill, and not knowing how to stop it,
Ooh.
and then hitting the curb and cracking my tooth. So that was
Oh,
fun.
I said,
Wow.
the Norwich people will appreciate this, but I once saw somebody go down Gas Hill, most of it on a skateboard.
Right.
Gas Hill is like a ludicrously steep hill. I mean, gradient is ridiculous. Like small car with a couple of people and potentially can't get up it. It's that crazy gradient.
Went
In
down
one of
on
the
a
flattest areas in the country. But yeah, it was, I won't say his name, but yeah, he went down and just, crashed obviously. And the skateboard just went woof, for about 40 miles. I think it was never seen again.
So you sort of gave up on the stuntman route then after a few injuries, or just?
No, I still want to do. I quite enjoyed doing extreme sports and stuff like that. I did skating for a while. I did lots of martial arts and things like that. And I once went to. Did you have a thing called Sprite Urban Games at Clapham Common? And it was a bunch of extreme sports, freestyle motocross, skateboarding, BMX and stuff like that. And I went to actually see a band play there. The band had finished playing, then wandered around, and then there was this tent. It was called the Breakdance Tent.
Oh, cool.
So I went in and watched that, and they did a big competition there, and I thought, that's really cool. I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
So I talked to the guys there and hung out with them for the next 7 years and
Wow.
became part of a crew. And we managed to then come back to Urban Games a few years later. It was 2004. And we managed to win Freestyle Session UK.
Wow.
My signature moves are sliding on my head across the floor.
Ooh.
I so want to see that. Do you need to wear a special hat for that or something?
It helps.
Yeah,
but I don't.
bloody hell.
Yeah, I always find it a problem. So I would just slide on top of my head. That's what I'm probably best known
But
for.
my mother was hacking into my knee with an axe.
yeah.
It was the less dangerous one. Yes.
You can see it on YouTube. There's videos of me dancing.
Oh, really? On your
Yeah.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube.
I'll have to check that out.
Bloody hell,
That's
man.
amazing.
Slide. I didn't know you did the head slide. That's
Yeah.
whoa.
How do you have to like wax your head up or something?
No. Like anything, it's physics. If you apply enough force, it will move.
Bloody hell.
So my wife. Sorry.
Apply enough physics textbooks so we can.
Yeah. Wow.
Good God. I mean, the head spin was infamous in the media for like people
Yeah,
breaking their
of course.
necks
I
and
was just
stuff.
trying
My
to,
God.
in my head, how you
The
like
sliding sounds worse
you
almost.
just get a run up and
Kind of, yeah. You take a step,
Just
run
get
up,
a run up.
and you put your head down, and then you slide across on your head. I got to do sideways as well. That's the other one.
Please don't try it, Barry.
know how you get.
For audio listeners, Barry is attempting suicide.
I just did a curtsy.
No, Barry, don't do it, Barry.
Yeah,
No.
But could you sort of show how you would start to do it then? Like, we'll move the chair out of the way or something. I got to see this.
Please don't actually slide in your head, Quang. Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Right. So for audio listeners, Quang is getting ready.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to do one.
No, please don't. No. No, don't. Don't egg him on.
Yeah, you would literally come down and from here, you put your head across there, and
Oh my
and
God.
start the slide. Oh my goodness.
Just clean the floor.
But then your feet will be in the air, and you slide across your head, and then I would add a twist at the end of that.
Bloody hell. So for the audio guys, that was terrifying and he didn't even start the move. I mean, it just
Yeah.
looked like neck break city.
It was like you went to tie your shoelace but fell forward on it and then just kept moving.
That's
with
how
it.
they invented
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And then you get your... Wow. Do you do that at weddings or anything like that? Just to like...
I have done at weddings.
That's amazing.
I've also done bar mitzvahs.
Oh, what?
I performed at a bar mitzvah.
Oh, nice.
Traditionally, you do have a breakdancer at a bar mitzvah. Though. Yeah.
When I was a breakdancer, we did shows, battles, and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it was
Wow.
all very much part of it.
I'm going to try sliding on my head on the video.
I've like an image of Moses parting the Red Sea and everyone just gets slide. Somebody's doing the worm at the back. That was too slow. Slide on your head.
What's the hardest
Oh,
thing
my
to do?
God.
Was head sliding the hardest to learn?
No,
No.
it's not. Again, that's just finding some balance, and it's not that hard to learn.
Right. But what if you break your neck? Like, how do
Well,
you
you're in
trust
trouble
it? You wear a collar.
Don't want to do that.
No.
No.
Like, you're not worried about, do you have to like do any neck exercises or anything like that?
God,
neck
there's a lot of
exercises.
warm up and exercising and gym and blimey.
Well, you start with just a normal headstand to start with, and you build the muscles up over time. I'm also a big heavy metal rocker fan, so mosh pits helped, and
right.
headbanging helped.
I can hear Alex ears perking up from behind him.
yeah. Someone say mosh.
So I used to run a nightclub in London called Night of Awesome. It was a 90s, 2000s metal night, and we played rock metal from that. It was good
I
fun.
never knew
cool.
that. Blimey.
Can you do metal like breakdance?
Kind of, yeah. There's a lot of crossover, believe it or not. The Beastie Boys, for example, they used to be a punk band.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So
true.
all the early
yes.
stuff is very punk.
Yeah.
You got things like Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And so hip hop and metal have a huge crossover. New metal, things like that.
So you can sort of incorporate the two dance, like
for
a
sure,
mosh
yeah.
into a head slide or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Slide in a mosh pit. That's a recipe for death if ever
I've
there
done
was
that.
one. My God.
Really?
Yeah, I've done that.
Bloody hell.
So it just gets
an
kicked by a
image.
load of feet.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But I'd love that at a wedding. Everyone's doing their like dad dancing, like just, you know.
Just
come in with a neck
slide
slide.
past his head.
Yeah.
Oh, Quang's here again.
So, yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing?
The buffet's ready.
The thing is, once you get known as a breakdancer, everyone wants you to do it all the time.
Right.
So you go to
Yeah.
events and you do any dance and like, breakdance Quang.
And he's like, oh, you're like,
Yeah.
please, guys, can't I just sit down for 5 minutes
Yeah.
and
That's awesome.
talk about laser active players or something? Yeah.
Yeah, these are active players. He knows what that is.
That's Barry's favourite. I'll have you know.
Yeah, that's it.
He has a house made of them.
So we've got 3 questions we always ask people. Have you ever been on a local newspaper?
Yes, I guess. Well, my family was when we first moved to Scotland as refugees. They wrote articles on that and told the story of how we came over and how we were integrating into society and things like that.
Oh, was there lots of you then that came over then? Or?
Well, there was
Like,
lots
into that sort of community?
yeah, there was a huge amount, but they for some reason chose our family to be in the paper.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so he was sort of specifically...
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was just
featured,
our family.
so to
So my mum, dad, my older brother, and then by that time they did the article. My younger brother, who was born in Glasgow, they put some paper for that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so that's cool. It's not just yourself; it's just there in Glasgow or Scotland or wherever, on your own, like around a load of haggis throwing people with kilts and stuff. That's not,
That'd be terrifying.
No.
All the stereotypes right there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Just get off the boat and there's people chucking cabers at you. Like, bloody hell,
bad
guys.
Mars bar.
So we can tell Barry's never been to
No,
Scotland.
I haven't. Yeah, when I've never been somewhere, I've got a very generic stereotype of it. Everyone's called Dougal or whatever.
Come on, it's only every other person.
Yeah, that's right. Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Who's the most famous?
Other than Eli Silverman.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Who's great as that?
Yeah, yeah.
I did run into Brendan Fraser once.
Oh, really? Like literally ran into him while head sliding or something. That'd be amazing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, God. This keeps happening to me. Wherever I go, someone head slides into me.
He was in London for doing a play.
Was he in Tarzan? No.
He was doing. Yeah, he was actually. Yeah. But he was doing some stage stuff. I at the time was working for the Geek Squad in a Carphone Warehouse store, fixing things as I do, and he came in to buy a phone case.
Really? I can't imagine Brendan Fraser doing that.
Yeah, I was going to say George of the Jungle. Yes,
It's like he's a
yeah.
human and does normal things.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine Brendan Fraser getting a phone case. I don't know. Get like a slave to do it. Do you know what I mean? Just be like, I don't know.
Brendan Fraser and his slaves.
Yeah, I don't know. When you get to a certain level, I
Minions.
go into a shop.
Fraser demands a new phone case.
Yeah, that's it. In the Mummy, innit? You just train a monkey to do it or something, or like a
It
cat.
must be sequined.
Yeah.
I was in Brain Candy, the Kids in the Hall movie.
I remember from California Man.
Oh my
yes,
God,
I
that's an
remember
old.
that film.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah. So he comes in the Carphone Warehouse and
Yeah, came from Warehouse to buy a phone case. Weirdly, only like half the people working there kind of recognized them. So most people were like, "Who's that guy? Maybe I should know him."
Is it Nathan Fillion?
So I played it cool because you know
Yeah.
you got to play it cool.
Yeah.
Like I recognize you, but
Okay. Yeah.
I love Firefly.
Have a selfie, please. Yeah. Awesome.
What sort of case did he buy? The world needs to know.
Oh, his face on it or something like that.
George of the Jungle.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen this film. It's,
if I remember correctly, it was for the first iPhone. The first iPhone had just come out by then, and I think it was just a standard black leather case for the
Nice.
phone, if I remember correctly.
God, I remember buying the first
pouch
iPhone.
one with a folder like that.
So cheap because due to control freakery, Apple literally you bought it super cheap in the shop and had to pay the rest of the money to Apple for them to unlock it remotely. But somebody worked out a bypass, just plugged it in the PC, ran a program like I've just got this like incredibly expensive new phone for like £100 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they had it tied to O2. O2 had a monopoly for it for
Yep.
the first iPhone.
Yeah.
And
I think it was a Carphone Warehouse in Norwich. I got it from.
and Carphone Warehouse were the only people allowed to sell it. Carphone
That's why
Warehouse,
then. Yep.
O2 stores, or Apple directly.
Bloody hell. I'd forgotten all that. Yeah, to unlock it and all that.
Yeah. Most embarrassing situation you've ever been in?
Oh, let's go with.
Spin that wheel.
Yes. So I don't know if you've seen Digitizer,
Many
but
things.
yes.
When I was a kid, I remember going. We were in music class and we had to do a show, and everybody got an instrument. I think I had a xylophone at the time.
Nice.
You know, that's if you want to be
the
cool,
bottle cap?
xylophone.
That's a new T-shirt design for you. If you want to be cool, xylophone.
Yeah. Hashtag.
But yeah, so we all played the group piece, and then you get a little solo. And they gave us, I think, 16 beats to play a solo. But I panicked, and I played my 16 beats in 4 beats like this, and then stopped. Everyone is waiting for me to obviously carry on and fill 16 beats. And I'm like, I'm done.
Channeled your inner Dave Lombardo.
Yeah. That's where the rock metal.
Left it.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so it was just awkward silence. And everyone's looking at me thinking, is that it?
Those kinds of Quangs on fast forward today. Done, guys.
Yeah, I panicked, and then then as a small child, you got everyone staring at you. It's
Right.
pretty embarrassing,
So that's where the love for rock music came from.
possibly.
Yeah, chucking a head slide. You feel that time. So obviously, we didn't get time to talk about your T-shirts that you promote, but we can get those on Twitter and stuff like that. We're following you. And...
Sure, yeah. Twitter is a good place to get hold of me.
Yeah.
You want to get hold of me on Asobi Tech? That's ASOBI TECH, Asobi Tech. Asobi is Japanese for play, Tech is English for science.
Okay, and that's where you can get like t-shirts like you're wearing now, and you had with your logo
Oh
on, right?
man! So these T-shirts have become so popular because they're you see they're nicely designed, they're sort of good
They are,
quality,
yeah.
etc.
Well,
You
these
go to a
polyester,
retro
right?
event, yeah.
Literally, like,
Help us, Quang.
they're actually real chickens on yours.
Yeah.
Off the jersey.
I'm going to run around Jersey like this, terrifying people. But yeah, retro events, everyone's wearing them.
Awesome.
Man. You do ones for Octavius.
So we print for Octavius, Retro Princess, Late Night Reviews, and now Aravel as well.
Yeah, you did a load for me for the Norwich events. Look at some of those left
Nice.
over.
Okay.
In this style with the pixels and bits.
So this is our Pocket Pixel designs.
Yeah.
We release a new design every Monday, a new controller at the moment. We've done some limited edition ones, and we've done a bunch for Stuart as well.
Oh, awesome.
As you will recognise, that is a Vectrex controller.
Yeah,
I know
I
you're a
was
fan.
about to say, I've got one in my car, so.
Don't tell Peter.
Yeah, oh yes. Oh yeah. Nostalgia nerd Peter really wants a Vectrex.
I remember him mentioning that
Yeah.
to me. I don't know if that was on the pod or off it.
Mine
That's
doesn't set up. Mine set mine up in the office just to annoy him. Because he doesn't want to use it, he just wants to own it and kind of look at it.
Do you want to put
Run
it to
his
an electric
fingers through
chop
it.
machine or something just to tease him? Like, yeah, you can touch it. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on. That was awesome. Cool stories. And yeah, I want to get a head slide now.
Please don't, Barry.
No.